जय कृष्ण बलराम कृष्ण बलराम कृष्ण बलराम जय कृष्ण बलराम जय गौरानिताय 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 जय गौरानिताय जय जय प्रभुपाद 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 जय जय प्रभुपाद निताय गौर हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल निताय गौर हरि बोल
नमो ओम विष्णुपादाय कृष्ण पृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्ति वेदांत स्वामिनिति नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषा शून्यवादी पाश्चात्देशतारिणे गुरवे गौरचंद्राय राधिकाय तदाल्यै कृष्णाय कृष्णभक्ताय तद्भक्ताय नमो नमः। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय नारायणं नमस्कृत्यं नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरये। नष्टप्रायेषु भद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवती उत्तम श्लोके भक्तिर्भवती नैष्टिकी। कृष्णाय वासुदेवाय देवकी नंदनाय च नंदगोपकुमाराय गोविंदाय नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्त वृंदा। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। Hare Krishna, you are all welcome for Srimad Bhagavatam class at Sri Sri Krishna Balram Temple, ISKCON, Vrindavan. We are reading from 10th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, chapter 22nd. Krishna steals the garments of young gopis. It's not young gopis, it's Kumarikas. So today we are discussing verse number 17. Before we start discussing the verse, chapter before this was Venu-Gita, the glories of the flute of Sri Krishna. And this was the bhavas, or the ecstatic emotions of elderly gopis, Radha, Vishakha, Lalita. These gopis, they have their Purava Rag. Purava means before meeting. Rag means attachment. So chapter 21 is Purava Rag of Radha and other elderly gopis. Chapter 22 is Purava Rag of unmarried Kumaris, and both are Nitya Siddha Gopis. Those who are singing the song of the beauty of Krishna's flute, and those now observing the vrta or vow to marry Krishna, both are Nitya Siddha Gopis. Both are Nitya Siddha Gopis means they are liberated. And the gopis are all expansion of Radharani. All the gopis are kaya view, or bodily expansion of Radharani. And Radharani is not a girl or a woman or a lady. She is internal potency of Sri Krishna. And she expands in many gopis to give pleasure to Krishna, who is the reservoir of all pleasure. So when we hear these topics or read these topics, we should not compare Krishna with ourselves and gopis with ordinary girls or women or ladies. If we compare or think like that, this is offense. So tomorrow the verse will start Bhagavan. The first word is Bhagavan. This is the pastime of Supreme Personality of Godhead. This is not the pastime of mundane men. This is the pastime of Atmaram, self-satisfied, apatkam, which one who has no desire. So basically, to really understand this topic, we have to be Ananga. Ananga means free from bodily concept. Krishna is Ananga. He has no bodily concept because his body and soul are one. So when we become Anang, then we can understand these pastimes. But somehow Srila Prabhupada has given all these pastimes in Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And Srila Prabhupada's disciple has also translated all these verses in line with our previous acharyas, specifically Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, Srila Jiva Goswami and Sanatana Goswami. So we are reading now the verse This is the pastime of Hemant Ritu. Hemant Ritu is say from the middle of the November to middle of the December, something like that. This is the beginning of the winter. Hemant Ritu, Margashrish is a 1 month in this, is the beginning of cold weather. And the Kumarika, Kumari means 5 year. Kumar is 5 year, 5 to 10 is Pongal, 10 to 15 is Kishore. So Kumarika means less than 5 year. These are the young girls in Maharaj Nanda Baba's Vrindavan, but they are not of the same gotra as Krishna. They have no same lineage as Krishna. And they were observing the vrta or a vow to fast for a month to please Katyani Devi to get Krishna as husband. This was their vow. Now when the vrt was about to finish, it means when their whole worship was about to culminate in result. And what the result they wanted? Krishna as husband. And what is the age of Krishna at this time? Little 6 plus. Because next will come the Govardhan Puja. That is by 7. So 6 years something. And gopis are less than, these gopikas are less than 5 years. Now we are reading the verse. Gopikas were taking bath in Yamuna river early in the morning before sunrise. And they kept all their cloth at the bank of Yamuna. And they were taking bath in Yamuna without any piece of cloth. And that is called Chir Ghat. There's one Chir Ghat is almost, I think, some 10-15 kilometers upstream on the Yamuna. And Krishna came along with the, I think, 4 younger gopas with him of the same 4-5 year age. And their names are given. I think Kinkani and some other, I don't remember right now. Anybody remember the name of the 3-4 gopas which accompanied Krishna when they were stealing the cloth of young, less than 5 years gopis? There are names. They are more or less related to the gopis. And there are, I think there are 4, and there one name I remember, Kinkani, but the other names are there also. We can find out. And then Krishna took all the cloth to the branch of a kadam tree. And then he was joking. Gopi says, where our cloth? He said, I don't know how they climb up. Huh? Who has taken? I don't know. But then Krishna says, okay, anyway, you want these cloths back, you have to come out of the water. The gopis were enjoying the joking talks of Krishna. So there is a lot of talks between Krishna and gopis. Gopis use the all method of Sham, Dam, Danda, Bhed to convince Krishna to leave cloth and go away. But Krishna wanted actually gopis to give the result of their worship. And Krishna wanted gopis to come to the stage of Sarva Dharman Parityaja. Give up all the religions which are connected with body. All the religions which have relation with body. And in a Vedanta, this pastime is called Avaran Bhang. Avaran means curtain. Bhang means to break. Before we start this verse, I'm just asking one question. If mother has to feed the baby her breast milk, she has to uncover the breast for the baby to suck the milk from the breast. Is this common practice or not? Yes. So Srila Prabhupada writes, when the gopis wanted Krishna to be husband, and then Srila Prabhupada writes, only the girl can have no cloth in front of husband, nowhere else, nobody else. So this is, and therefore, in Rasa Leela, there is a word Krishna Vadva. Vadva means wife, married. So gopis are married to Krishna. Then the next question is, then who are the gopa to whom the gopis were married? The Leela Shakti has made the clone of the gopis. Maya gopis were with the gopas, and the real Nitya Siddha gopis were only enjoying with Krishna. Therefore, at the end of Ras Leela, it is said that no gopa was knowing that the gopis are out of the house, because they thought the Maya gopis illusion that they were lying there right in their home. They were sleeping there. So these are the actually, and before the Ras Leela, first shlok is Bhagavan apita ratri. It is the pastime of Supreme Lord. It's not pastime of human being. So think something not at our level. There are different rules. In the spiritual world, there is a different rule. In demigods planet, there is a different rule. On the human planet, there is a different rule for the human beings. There is a different rule of driving car in the India than in the, say, Dubai or America. There is a different rule. So we should not compare ourselves with the Krishna and gopis. Now let us read this verse. Tato jalashyat sarva darikaha sita vepitaha panibhyam yonimachadya proterusita karshitaha tato jalashyat sarva darikaha sita vepitaha panibhyam yonimachadya proteruhusita karshitaha tato jalashyat sarva darikaha sita vepitaha panibhyam yonimachadya proterosita karshitaha tato jalashyat sarva darikaha sita vepitaha proterosita karshitaha tato jalashyat sarva दारिकाः शीतवेपिताः पाणिभ्यां योनिमाच्छाद्य प्रोतेहो शीतकर्षिताः. Mataji, ततो जलाशयाः सर्वा दारिकाः शीतवेपिताः पाणिभ्यां योनिमाच्छाद्य प्रोतेरुक्षीतकर्षिताः. ततो जलाशयात् सर्वा काः शीतवेपिताः पाणिभ्यां योनिमाच्छाद्य प्रोतेरुक्षीतकर्षिताः. ततो जलाशयात् सर्वा दारिकाः शीतवेपिताः पाणिभ्यां योनिमाच्छाद्य प्रोतेरुक्षीतकर्षिताः. ततो, then, jal ashat, out of the river, sarvaha, all, darikaha, the young girls, sitavepitaha, shivering from the cold, panibhyam, with their hands, yonim, their pubic area, achadya, covering, proteroho, they came up, sitakarshitaha, penned by the cold. So word tato means thereafter. Thereafter means what Krishna said earlier. So I am just for remembrance reading the previous verse, translation of the previous verse. The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, Sri Bhagavan Vacha, if you girls are actually my maid servants, and if you will really do what I say, then come here with your innocent smiles, and let each girl pick out her clothes. If you don't do what I say, I won't give them back to you. And even if the king becomes angry, what can he do? So the most important word is Krishna says, if you consider yourself my maid servants. And the gopis are saying in a Gopi Geet, Tava King Kari, we are your maid servants. And number two, and if you will really do what I say, if you do what I say, it means you follow only my order. Mam ekam, sharanam. And then I will give you cloth, come and pick your cloth. Tata, thereafter, it means accepting themselves Krishna's maid servant, and they are ready to do whatever Krishna say. That is the meaning of tata. Now, then they made their mind. Then Srila Prabhupada's disciple write, then means after accepting themselves as maid servant of Krishna, and they were ready to do whatever Krishna wanted to say. Shivering from the painful cold. Shivering from the painful cold, Sri Jiva Goswami writes, their shivering was actually a ashta-sattvic bhav. Their shivering was from ecstatic love. Outwardly it was cold, but they are getting their desire fulfilled. They are getting their woe of worship giving result. So they were in ecstasy. And in the 8 symptom of the bhava, one is shivering. So their shivering was not material shivering from cold, but their shivering was from the higher bhava. And this word vepita, have you, anywhere you can recall this word? Bhagavad-Gita. And Arjuna is saying, my body is also shivering. But that shivering was from fear. There's a different shivering. And this shivering of the gopis appears to be from cold, but it is from Ashta-satvik bhav. Then shivering from the painful cold, all the young girls rose up out of the water. Darika. The word is Darika. But I'm not a scholar, but I'm saying Darika is like Daru Brahma, like a puppet. They become puppet in the hands of Krishna. What Krishna wanted to say, they just were doing. They forgot what they are. Puppet has no independent to do. Whatever master do, they just dance. And this is what Srila Prabhupada actually, when he landed in America, he said, I am like a puppet. Krishna, you make me dance as you like. So the gopis were doing all the acts like a wooden puppet. And that is the meaning of actually kinkari, or the dedicated, devoted servant. So Darika. The young girl is a outward meaning is young girls. Covering their pubic area with their hands. That is their worldly embracement. Now Srila Prabhupada's devotees write the purport. Gopis had assured Krishna that they were his eternal servants and would do whatever he said. And thus they were now defeated by their own words. So gopis told Krishna that we are your servant and we will do whatever you say. So Krishna has used their own words. Okay, if you are my servant and you do whatever I say, then do this. So they are defeated. When there is a competition between Krishna and his pure devotees, the competition goes for some time. Ultimately, devotee wins and Krishna loses. That is the beauty of competition with Krishna. Bhishma and Krishna has a competition. That Bhishma wanted Krishna to take the weapon, and Krishna would, I will not take weapon. But ultimately, Krishna has to take weapon, and ultimately Bhishma was winner and Krishna is loser. That's the beauty of devotion. Yashoda Ma and Krishna has a competition. She wanted to bind Krishna and Krishna's Shakti said nobody can bind him. But ultimately Krishna was bound by Yashoda. So gopis, they now defeated. But in Ras Leela, same gopis will defeat Krishna. Because this pastime will continue. Because at the end of this pastime, Krishna will say, okay, in the next Sharda Ritu, we will have a Ras dance. So this pastime will culminate in Ras dance, where gopis will win. And Krishna says, na pareham, I cannot repay you, I am completely sold to you. So ultimately, when there is a competition between devotee pure devotee and Supreme Lord. The competition go for a climax and then Krishna loses and devotee wins. That is the beauty of pure devotion. So now gopis are defeated. Like when there is a Damodar Lila churning going on. Yashoda wanted to churn the butter. And Krishna wanted, no, I want to have your own milk. So in this competition, Krishna won. And Yashoda has to give up churning and she has to feed Krishna. Ultimately, first Krishna won. Then ultimately, Yashoda won. And she bound the Krishna. So this competition always sweet for the both, devotee and Krishna. So next line says, if they delayed any longer, they thought, the gopis are thinking, some other man might come along and this would be unbearable for them. Now Krishna was not alone. There were some small, younger than Krishna Gopa with him. They actually collected cloth and gave to the Krishna and he kept on the branch of a tree. So Krishna was not alone. And they thought, well, these are the small, our village, 4-year boys, no problem. Maybe young gop come on this side. That will be too embarrassing. This is their thought, so they came quickly. The gopis loved Krishna so much that even there in that awkward situation, their attachment to him was increasing more and more. And they were very eager to stay in his company. Now these are the 2 lines simple. Gopis' love for Krishna was increasing more and more. This pastime is to fulfill the desire of the young Kumarika unmarried gopis to get Krishna as a husband. Now they are getting their desire fulfilled and therefore their love for Krishna was increasing on every step. And they wanted to stay in company of Krishna for more time. So this pastime is to increase the love and affection of the dear devotees, gopis for Krishna, and this pastime is to increase their love for Krishna. And thus they did not even considering drowning themselves in river because of embarrassing situation. Now the other option which gopis were thinking that, well, in this situation it is better we should drown and give up our life. How can we go without cloth out of the river? Unbearable. But still they gave up this idea of drowning. Why? Why they gave up the idea of drowning? Because of embarrassment. What is the reason? By drowning, they are not going to increase their love for Krishna. In the next verse, Purport Jiva Goswami writes, these young gopis has done something which is very difficult to do for any young girl. Very difficult to do. It's unimaginable. But they are ready to do that. But the next verse will say, still Krishna wanted to see their more surrender. Complete surrender. And Krishna will say, anyway, you have took bath without any cloth in the river, so you have offended the Deva. And that Deva is Varuna, maybe Narayan. And I am that Narayan. Garg Muni told him, my father, when he was giving my name ceremony, that I am equal to Narayan. So you have to worship me with folded hands above your head. That was the last word Krishna told them to do. That was the climax of this stealing garments of the Kumarikas. And they surrendered completely to Krishna. I think once Krishna and Arjuna, they were together and they went in some Asiatic lady's hermitage. The lady has 3 swords there hanging. So Krishna asked, well, you are here living in a hermitage doing meditation and thinking of Supreme Lord, why you are keeping this weapon there, 3 swords? She said, first sword is for Draupadi to behead her, chop her neck. Why? What was there? If her cloth were robbed by Dusasana, if she would have been naked, what is wrong? Why she have forced Krishna to come as a cloth and cover her? I want to kill Draupadi. The next sword is for Yasoda. Why she bound Krishna with the rope? So delicate body of Krishna like a butter, and her rope was so rough. I will say, what is about third sword? It is for Arjuna. Why he made Krishna his chariot driver and using his foot to direct, take me to right and left. I will behead Arjuna. And Arjuna was shivering. So these are the different sentiments of the devotees. Then Krishna said, it is not Yashoda she bound me. It is my desire to be conquered by Yashoda. It is not Draupadi that she was needing meat as a cloth, but it was my desire to repay Draupadi's devotion. It was not Krishna's desire, Arjuna's desire. I wanted Arjuna to be called, say, Partha Sarthi's friend. Oh, mother said, is your desire? Who are you? Say, I am Krishna. Then she said, okay, take these 3 swords. I am not going to do anything anymore. So the point I am making is that Draupadi even disrobed, but it's not in, it was in an assembly hall. So Krishna protected her. So here also it is a desire of Krishna to fulfill the woe of gopis. Krishna wanted this to happen. And gopis accepted this. So they are only the example of Sarvadharman Pariteja. They have given up all the dharma of body. See, Loka Dharma, the modesty dharma, they have acted at the level of soul. And soul is eternal servant of Krishna. And they are ready to do anything Krishna wanted them to do. They were beyond the concept of body and anything related to the body. So they were of Sarvadharman Parityaja stage. So this pastime increased the attachment of gopis for Krishna more and more, and they were eager to stay in his company. They concluded that they could do nothing but go forward to their beloved Krishna, putting aside their embarrassment. So embarrassment was one of the dharma of a young girl. This is the social dharma. The social dharma, a niti dharma. When gopis will go on the call of Krishna for the rest dance, after I think 3-4 chapters, Krishna will speak dharma. Oh, you have husband at home, go and serve. You have children waiting for you, go back. So Krishna was speaking dharma, and gopis were already trained in Sarvadharma and Parityaja. So Krishna defeated by gopis. Krishna was defeated by gopis' arguments and accepted gopis' proposal. So the Darukas, these Daruka, young gopis, concluded that they could not do anything but go forward to their beloved Krishna, putting aside their embarrassment. Giving up their Srila Prabhupada has written in a teaching of Bhisham Dev about Nari Dharma, the dharma of a woman. Srila Prabhupada writes, Lajja, which means, shame is a little shyness, which is more or less like embarrassment in an awkward situation, is the topmost dharma of a gentle lady. And Srila Prabhupada writes, if they have that dharma, they can control the topmost men of the world. And if that lajja is loosed, then they will lose everything. And here, gopis are giving up that lajja. Gopis are giving up that lajja in front of Krishna. Because Krishna wanted this. Thus the gopis assured each other that there was no alternative and rose up out of the water to meet him. So they looked towards one another, you go first, I will see what he will do with you. Then ultimately he said no. They said no, let us all go together. So, even from mundane point of view, how many gopis are taking bath? There is no count given. But at least they are in hundreds. It's not 1, 2, 3. All these, when they do the war, they are in a groups. So, there is no material concept of lust in this episode at all. The gopis are below 5 years age, and Krishna is 6-year-old, and the boys with Krishna are less than 5-year-old. And gopis are in hundreds. So it is something which is a sort of transcendental pastime and play of Krishna which is the prelude to the Ras Leela. And before Krishna perform Ras Leela, he will make three favorable. First he will make Brahman favorable, because ultimately the judgment is given by Brahman, whether it is dharma or not. So Krishna will make Brahman Chaturvedi of the Mathura favorable by giving devotion to the Brahman Patnis. And then the Brahman says Krishna is Supreme Lord. Then Krishna will make the administrative demigod Indra favorable by lifting Govardhan hill. And Indra will come and worship Krishna and accept in everything. Then Krishna will make elderly Gopas favorable. Because ultimately the parents who are elderly, they will say this is wrong or right. So bringing the Nanda Baba back from Varuna Loka and showing the Vaikuntha to the Gopas, Krishna made all the Gopas favorable. And then the Ras dance will take place. So before the Ras dance, which is the climax of this pastime of stealing the garment, Krishna has three more pastime in between. One is to make the Brahmans favorable, because they give the judgment of the dharma. Demigod favorable, because they are in the body and they monitor all our activities. And then the elderly Gopas favorable. And then he performed the Ras dance. So all of them have no objection. Neither Brahman have objection what Krishna was doing. Neither the demigods have an objection what Krishna was doing. Neither their parent have an objection for what Krishna was doing. Then why the foolish mundane people of this world has an objection why Krishna what he was doing? What right we have to say why Krishna was doing like this? Was Krishna's father ever objected? Was any demigod objected? Any Brahman objected? Then why, who are we to say why Krishna is doing this? This is actually something, because we consider ourselves, oh, this is immoral, but there's, like as for sun, there is nothing impure, because sun purify everything. Nothing can make sun impure. So Krishna is apapa viddha. That's it. Sri Ishwara Upanishad, apapa viddha. No sin will touch him. And he is, the other word is apapa viddha and shuddha? No. Shuddham. Shuddham. It is a pure. Prabhupada said antiseptic. Nothing can touch him. So this is all glories of the Krishna. But these pastimes are not at our like mental level. They are the pastime at a spiritual level. So Sukdev Goswami is speaking this pastime, who is Atma Ram, who is Brahmanishta. If he has no hesitation to speak this pastime, such an exalted personality, and those who were listening, when Parikshit was listening, was Vyasadeva has no objection in the audience, Narad has no objection on this pastime in that katha at Shuktal, and then all the rishis of the world were sitting there, they have no objection. They heard this katha, and they were very happy to hear this. And then, if anybody has an objection in this world, that is of mundane nature, it should be ignored. Nobody has any objection when Sukdev was speaking. Nobody said, Even at Ras Leela, at one stage, Parikshit said, well, how it is religious that Krishna was dancing with others' wives. And Sukdev was really upset. He said, only Shankar can drink the poison. And if anybody tries to drink the poison, he will die. Krishna can do this. How can you? So Sukdev was really a little upset on this question. Then how come you, Parikshit, asking this question? He can enter in your mother's womb and protect you. You don't remember this? He entered your mother Uttara's womb and protected you. So he can enter anywhere. What is the problem? Otherwise, he is everybody's pati. He is a Jagat Pati. He is a Jagatnath. These are the only true people. They accepted Krishna as their pati or nath. And we are still in this world undergoing suffering because we are not accepting Krishna as a pati or nath. We are trying to be pati or nath, but we are less useful than the tea pati. Every day, boil you and throw you out. So Krishna is the real pati. And this is Lakshmi says in one of the verse where she worshipped the Kamdev in a 5th canto, only Krishna is the husband for all the living entities. Those who accept are gopis. Those who don't accept, they are, who are they? Poppy. Gopi, Poppy. Poppy means dog. So this pastime we have to see from the scriptural point, from the vision of the exalted personalities who spoke this, and the exalted personality who heard that, and they relished it, and Kacharya has given elaborate commentaries on that. And we should not really give our ear to mundane people's talk, why Krishna has done this, why Krishna has done this. Krishna is not ordinary, mundane man of this world. He is Supreme Personality of Godhead. By his desire, everything can happen. So it was his desire. So he did this, and gopis obliged him. And gopis has no objection. Gopis' parents have no objection. Then what right we have to have an objection? So we are leaving few minutes for question answer. I'm reading one verse again. Tato jalashyat sarva. Jalashyat means they were taking shelter of water. So you want to take shelter of water or Krishna? Krishna. So they gave up the shelter of water. Ashya means taking shelter. Darukaha sita vepitaha. They are like now puppet in the hands of Krishna. And they were in ecstatic love. And they were shivering because of their high ecstasy of meeting their desire fulfilled. Panibhyam yonim achadya. With their hands they were covering their private parts. This was still their one embracement left. It's like Draupadi was holding on the sari with one hand and saying, help me. No help came. Until Draupadi has to give up the sari and raise both hands. Then sari came. So still there is a little hesitation on the part of gopis. That will be resolved tomorrow. And when that is there, Sukdev, Vyasdev has put the word Bhagavan ahata vikshaya. Bhagavan, the word is Bhagavan. It means it is the pastime of Supreme Lord, Bhagavan. So don't forget Bhagavan. Yes, any question or comment? Hare Krishna. Gopi. Go means senses, P means drink. They were drinking with their eyes the beauty of Krishna. Gopi also means to keep Krishna confidential, not to be noticed by Kansa. So by this pastime, Kansa will say what he will do. He's playing with the gopis, what he will do for me. Yes.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Thank you for your wonderful lecture. I just wanted to know that when we talk about this pastime to non-devotees, and they question this, can we say that the gopis were covered by Yoga Maya of Krishna, so that they are not actually naked? Just like Sita, when she was kidnapped, it was not the real Sita who was kidnapped. So can we say it is Yoga Maya covering them?
Well, I told one thing, that Yoga Maya has made the clone of the gopis. One Maya gopis were staying with their husband in the home. The other gopis, which are Nitya Siddha, they were playing with Krishna. But nobody are seeing two gopis, but they were two. These young gopis are still unmarried. So there is no Maya in this case. Most of these pastime, anyway, Prabhupada never discuss in public, because the people are not at that standard. These pastime are to be relished only among the devotees in front of the Lord, who has all these pastime, and He is enjoying these pastime. When we do, we may not be able to understand this, but He will enjoy this, because this is His pastime. So ultimately, when we speak these pastime, it is for the pleasure of Radha Krishna. And we take the prasad when we hear, then we will not be agitated. If I speak just to convince that I am the scholar, and if you think that you are listening to argue me, then this pastime is of no use. This is for the pleasure of Radha Sham, and it is a prasad for us to hear, and with folded hands say all glories to Radha Sham and gopis. Because it is beyond our bodily, mental or intellectual reach. It is completely at a spiritual platform. When we really come beyond bodily platform, then we can understand, or at least see a glimpse of this.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
For the ordinary people, you simply say that, well, when Sukadeva was speaking, nobody objected, Vyasadeva has not objected. So we take it is authorized pastime. If they would have objected, then we would have been little concerned. But your objection has no value. If you want to accept, you are welcome. Otherwise, take prasad and come in next life. Very simple. Yes, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
Vaikuntha. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Thank you for your wonderful class. I just wanted to know, because I am very doubtful, Krishna is known as Atmaram. Then why he had to expand himself as Radharani and get more pleasure?
So Krishna's Atma is Radha.
Atma and Radha.
That is what Brahma sent us, that Krishna is Atmaram, Krishna's Atma is Radha.
Because Krishna himself is fully
So
satisfied.
Radha is his Atma, so he is expanding his own Atma. Therefore he is Atmaram. Radha hai Krishnera Pranaya Vikar. So Krishna himself at the level of Pranaya. Pranaya is a stage above love. Prema, Mana, say bhava, and what is it? Sneha, prema, mana, and then pranaya. So pranaya is a stage where there is no difference between lover and beloved. So at that stage when Krishna feels there is no difference between me and Radha, at that time Radha come out of Krishna. Krishna hai Radha, Radha hai Krishna hai pranaya vikar. So it is after prem, when there is no difference between Radha and Krishna, therefore Srila Prabhupada said, Radha and Krishna is God. They are not two, they are one. They are one. So Radha and Krishna is God. So Radha is Atma of Krishna. Eko ek Atma doh de dhari. There's a one soul which has taken two bodies. Why? Anyo ane prem. To give one another the relishment of transcendental mellows. So Atma Krishna is Atma Ram, because his Atma is Radha and he's playing with Radha. Hare Krishna. Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki, Srila Prabhupada ki, Nitai Gaur Premanande. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.
Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Hare Krishna.